Hello there. Welcome to my latest video. This one is a little bit different to the usual stuff I've been putting out lately because I actually escape the closet corner and get outside to enjoy this beautiful weather. I go for a little stroll through the valley. I measure a mysterious item that's gonna change my life if it fits into my house. I blab on a lot about random things. I check out some trees, I do some strimming, and I start to make limoncello as well, using up some of the lemons from my enormous lemon tree. And at the end of the video, I'll return back inside to the cupboard corner to the wall where I will attempt to cut the wooden slats using this jigsaw. I got the idea from some people in the comments of my previous video. I think it's a great idea. I'm really hoping it'll work because if it doesn't, the other saw is going to take me a very, very long time. I haven't actually tried it yet. I'm going to give it a go now and you'll see the results at the end of the video. So fingers crossed it all goes to plan and we'll find out together at the end. So I hope you enjoy the video and I'll see you at the end for some jigsaw fun. Good morning. It's gorgeous out here. The birds are chirping. The neighbors are out doing yard work. And I'm gonna start my day by going for a little walk. I'll be going first over to Sinead's place to transport a bunch of the olive trimmings that are currently in a pile just behind me. And I'm also gonna pick some lemons from her place as well. She's got a couple trees. And I'm on a mission to make a whole bunch of stuff out of lemons. My tree is absolutely packed and I can see new flowers coming, so it's time to start to work through those lemons. So I'll start off at a minimum with some limoncello and hopefully I can do a few other things in the coming days and weeks as well. And then after that, I'm going further afield, down past Santa's place, through the valley, back up the hill to the other side to another friend's place where I'm taking the tape measure to measure something that could be very exciting for me. So I'm looking forward to starting my morning a little bit differently today, starting with moving this wood. Before I carry on to Sinead's, I thought I would stop at Peter Pecan, who I wasn't entirely sure had survived the winter, but he's looking really good. He's got lots of buds growing on him, and I'm really excited to see that he's alive. Unfortunately, sad news, Manny the mango has perished, but I'm gonna try and get Manny too and see if I can do better next winter. Manny the mango did really well over the summer and the autumn, but I didn't really protect him well enough in the winter. And that was foolish, so he died. I'm sorry, Manny. But Manny too is on the way and I'm gonna see if I can keep him alive. I also wanted to point out that I've been down here cutting the grass, and the reason that I need to clear the wood from up there is so I can cut the grass on that terrace as well. Because though I have taken a break working on the tool shed, I do fully intend on starting up again, and I currently have a mountain of rocks buried within the grass, and so I really do need to cut that terrace up there as well. And when you're strimming and you hit pieces of wood, it shreds the strimmer string. It shreds the strimmer string and gets all tangled, and it's really annoying. So having pieces of wood lurking within the grass is not good. And while I'm on a little stroll down in this terrace, I might as well stop at this tree as well. This is a peach. It's one of those squashed peaches that I've only ever seen in Portugal. They look really weird. They kind of look like donuts, and they look dry, but they're actually incredibly juicy and very delicious. So this tree has given me plenty of those in the past, and it's looking nice and healthy again this year as well. And this is my pear tree. It's one of two pears I have. I don't remember the varieties, but it's looking pretty good. This one's kind of struggled over the years. I think it's about 4 years old, and I'd love to get it mulched around the base of the tree. I've mulched most of my trees already with olive branches, and I'd love to prune these 2 olive trees right here and put the trimmings on the pear tree and also on my apple tree, which are still waiting for that mulch. I don't have a lot of organic matter on my land, so using the olive branches is kind of all I have, but we're getting to the end of olive pruning season, so I'm gonna have to get on that pretty quickly. It might actually be something I attempt to do today. I actually have lots of stuff I want to do today, so less talking, more walking. Let's get to Sinead's, get this wood unloaded, and continue on my day. So I've been salvaging this smallish but burnable wood from the olive trees, and same thing with the fig trees. So we've got a very decent supply of kindling type firewood in this barn, and we'll have a lot more once I deal with the olive prunings that are out on her land right now. This creepy barn belongs to my friend Sinead. Some of you have seen her in previous videos. She's one of my best friends, and she's moving here permanently in the middle of May, and I'm very excited. She's been coming and going a little bit, doing a little bit here, doing a little bit there, talking to architects, planners, all that kind of stuff, and she's got a really amazing plan to turn this into a tiny house, and in the meantime she's going to be building a yurt over on the other side of the land. So there's going to be lots of exciting things happening over here from the middle of May, or maybe not from the middle of May, because things in Portugal can tend to take longer than expected, but she'll be here from the middle of May, and we'll be working on lots of cool things, including probably the first task will be setting up her water and piping and all that stuff. So I think it's going to be lots of fun to share what she's doing. She'll be starting completely from scratch. I didn't actually start my YouTube channel until about 1.5 years into the project, though I did film from the very beginning, and I will share that stuff at some point, but it'll be nice to see her totally brand new to the land, starting everything from the ground up, and I'm excited to share. And I'm especially excited to have one of my best friends just down the hill, bordering my land, living as my neighbor, which is basically a dream come true. That's going to be amazing. It'll be lots of fun times ahead, and I'm excited to share it. But I'm talking again, blabbing on as usual. Less talking. Let's go look at this lemon tree. So the grass on this land definitely needs to be cut as well. Last year they used, I think, 4 strimmers, and it took them almost a week, so it's not so practical. So I think her plan is to get a tractor in that'll cut the grass, not plow it into the ground, but just cut it and let it fall where it lays. And it's probably not a great idea to be roaming around in this long grass. I'm not afraid of snakes or other creepy crawlies. I haven't seen many of those. I wouldn't like to encounter a snake, but I'm not worried about them. It's more ticks that are the problem, and we're getting into tick season. Not yet, but soon, so I should probably keep out of this long grass, or at least come back when it's cut. This tree doesn't have anywhere as near as many lemons as I remember, and that's because it looks like loads of them have fallen onto the ground. So this looks good. It looks like it's just fallen recently. So what I might do is collect all of these lemons from the ground, put them in the wheelbarrow, and come back with a bowl and then take the ones off the tree, just so I can keep them separate, because if the ones on the ground end up still being good, I'll use them. I want to use these ones for the lime pickle because the rind on them is quite thin, whereas the rind on my lemons is huge. It's practically all rind, and I don't feel like they'd be as good for stuff like pickle. So this is a different variety of tree. I have no idea what kind it is. I discovered it here on Sinead's land. It's been super neglected, but it was very surprisingly packed with lemons. So I'm gonna pick these ones off the ground, come back at the other ones off the tree, and save them to make an Indian style lemon pickle. So I've picked all the lemons off the ground and I've parked them here in the wheelbarrow, and they seem perfectly fine. The ones that fell seem to land on that long grass. That one seems a little squishy, but the ones that landed in water sort of decomposed, and the ones that landed on the grass were fine. So I'm gonna cut one of these bad boys open when I get home, see what they look like, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be okay. But right now, I'm gonna continue on my walk, go to my friend's place, and measure the possibly exciting thing. So the neighbor has put up a fence, and I totally forgot it was there. She put it up back when the cottage that Sancha bought was up for sale, just to secure her property. Totally fair enough, but I didn't realize it was still there. So I tried to get through this stuff. I think it's rock rose. Because we're friends, I don't think she'd mind me walking down the bottom of her land across to the other friend's place. But I can't get through. It's impenetrable. This stuff is insane. It makes beautiful flowers, but walking through it is not going to happen for me today, and I don't exactly know where I'm going anyway. So the walk has been a failure, but that's okay because my friend has some straw for me, so I need to go over there in the car anyway. So let's go back to my place, let's look at one of these lemons, let's hop in the car, and let's drive there instead. Whew. That last hill is a doozy. It's hot out here. I'm definitely overdressed. But I've got a wheelbarrow full of lemons. I'm very happy. And I'm going to cut it open and see what it looks like. It looks like a lemon, ladies and gentlemen. This is really good news. There's no seeds in these things. I think this might be the perfect lemon. A little on the small side, but still pretty amazing. And when I tasted it last time, it was a bit sweeter than your average lemon, so let's give it a try. The perfect lemon. I'm pretty sure. So, I have a wheelbarrow of these things. Still a bit sour, not as sweet as I remembered. So I've got a whole wheelbarrow of these things. Some of them might not be good. There were some that were squishy, but for the most part, I think they're gonna work. And my friend Kimberly, who you might remember from the pear cider making debacle and Fun in Lisbon and other videos she's appeared in, she's going to be coming here and showing us, hopefully, how to make an Indian-style fermented lemon pickle. So that will be coming fairly soon. So these lemons are for her and that recipe, and yeah, I look forward to making that with her and giving it a try. But I'm really happy with this haul, and there's still more on the tree. So I'm definitely lemons rich, and it feels good. It feels good to be lemons rich. But right now, I'm gonna take a break. I'm probably gonna make myself some lemonade, have some lunch, and then we'll head over to my friend's place to measure up the mysterious item after that. Ta-da! It's a couch. It's currently buried under a bunch of things, and I'm gonna measure it to see if it might fit in my very cluttered tiny house. And about 95 centimeters deep, but let's call it a meter, which could be a little too big. So I've got the measurements, and of course I didn't actually measure my house beforehand, so I don't know if it'll fit or not, but I'll do that after, and if it does, hopefully I can have a friend help me move it over. I'm not ready for it yet. My place is still too disastrous, but I'm getting close. I'm getting close to couch ready, and it's very exciting, even though the couch is kind of too big. It's slightly hideous, royal blue, but it serves the purposes of a couch, and that's fine with me. Eventually, I'd love to build something that has storage underneath, has the ability to recline into a bed, something that's quite versatile for a tiny space like this. This couch is very bulky, but it's a lot better than sitting on lawn furniture all the time. So I'll take it, and it's very nice of my friend to offer it to me. So if it fits, it'll probably make an appearance at my place fairly soon. So this stuff looks pretty funky, but it's going to be wonderful for the garden. I got this pile of straw from a neighbor a little further away, and this straw from my neighbor that has the couch. And this is the last remnants. I've been taking this straw for 3 years now. She bought it to do some kind of a raised beds thing, but never actually got around to it. And I've been reaping the rewards. So I'll move all of this down to the garden in preparation for a day of blitzing the garden, where I'm just going to sort that thing out once and for all. But before I move the straw, let's check on the seed babies, because it's been a while. So we've got a lot of life with the sunflowers, but also a lot of death. Looks like something's been munching on these. Any ideas what it could be? No life in the pepper tray just yet. Lots of dill is happening. We've got lots of basil springing up, and cucumbers are pretty active as well. And the tomatoes are making an appearance too. So it's all exciting times in here. And I'll be checking on these guys very, very regularly and reporting back. All of the straw has been relocated from the top terrace and from the back of my very messy car down into the garden. The garden is still a disaster, but at least the straw is where I need it for when I start working on that. I was gonna weed one of the garden beds, but I didn't want to. I just didn't feel like it. I'm gonna blitz the garden all at once one day. I'd prefer, I think, to strim, because it's something I love to do, and this terrace needs some attention. I need to move some stones from over there to up there, and with the long grass, it's gonna be a complete nightmare to do that. I probably could have weeded one of the garden beds and put the cardboard down and the straw down, but I decided not to. I'm feeling a little tired, and I'd rather strim. It's something I love to do, and this terrace needs a lot of attention. I can't move the giant mountain of stones from over there until the grass is shorter, so I've decided to spend the next hour or so doing that, make a path at the very least to the stones, and then I can go full steam ahead again on the tool shed. I am aware that the project has been stalled. I was waiting for a pipe, I was waiting to get sand, and I got both of those things last week, so there's no reason I can't get started up again. Oh, and in other news, the couch is going to fit. It'll be a tight squeeze, and I don't currently have space for the thing just yet, but I'm gonna work towards making space, and hopefully in the coming weeks I'll have a nice, cozy, royal blue, slightly hideous, kind of gigantic couch sitting in the corner of my tiny house. But now, let's strim. Nothing says good morning quite like a bottle of vodka. But don't worry, there will be fruit. Let's go pick some lemons. So I'm not sure why I've come all the way to the top of the tree, because there's plenty of lemons down below. It's very dense up here, and I swear I get most of my injuries on this land from this lemon tree. It's super thorny, and so it possibly wasn't wise to come up here. But you know what? They'll have to get picked at some point, so I might as well do it now. So the recipe calls for 10 lemons for a liter of vodka. I only have a 750 ml bottle of vodka, and I'm pretty sure I have the largest lemons in all the land. This tree makes the most ridiculously sized lemons. The inside is normal lemon size when you cut it open, so there's a lot of the white pith stuff, but all I need for this recipe is the outer skin, just the yellow part. So these lemons will be perfect for that, and I'll save the rest for juicing or for my morning warm lemon tea that I have. So let's take one more, just because. Let's find a big one. Okay, over there looks good. Come on, come on. Come on, lemon tree. Okay. And let's see if I can get out of here with this bowl of lemons without getting stabbed by the thorns or the branches. It's gonna be a tight squeeze. Oop. Lemon down. So this tree is actually pretty crazy. I've already got a whole bunch of other little flowers on the way, and I still have a tree packed with lemons, so I definitely feel a time crunch to get all of the lemony goodness off of here and turn it into something delicious. First up is the limoncello. I'll freeze some, I'll preserve some in salt, I'll make some lemon curd. My mom has requested that, and I'm gonna try to do an Indian style fermented lemon pickle. And yeah, I think there's been a few other suggestions, but I'm definitely open to more. So I definitely have enough lemons, and there's loads of different things that I can do. But up first, I'm excited to turn these guys into a delicious booze. The one that got away. Before I head back up there, I want to point out that my water tank is once again disastrous. It's definitely cleaner underneath than it was before, but it's overflowing again, and so I have to do a bunch of work to the front of the tank. I've been meaning to do this since I moved here 3 years ago. It's leaking. There's a bunch of weird stuff happening under a bunch of concrete that I don't understand, and I'm gonna have to repair the entire front of the tank. And it's a big job, but I need to do it before my parents get here, because my dad's gonna build a deck over top of this, which will keep the sun out, stop the algae, and give me a really nice spot to hang out right next to the pool. So I'm excited for that, but I have a bunch of work to do. So rather than just doing quick fixes on the overflow all the time, I'm gonna leave it for now, and when I'm ready to work on this in a couple weeks, I'll get in there and hopefully solve these problems once and for all. Okay. Let's go make some booze. So these lemons are quite clean. They've just been up a tree, hanging out, doing nothing, which is more than can be said for my workbench slash food preparation area. I've got most of the sawdust off, but let's work on this chopping board and try to keep the lemon stuff away from the sawdust, because nobody likes sawdust limoncello as far as I know. So I could also zest the lemons apparently, but something about this just seems like it's going to be more satisfying. Definitely is. So this is 80 proof vodka. The recipes call for 100 proof or some sort of stronger grain alcohol, but this is all I could find. And the recipes also say that it should be okay. It just needs less sugar syrup at the next stage. So this is gonna sit and stew for anywhere from between 4 days to 1 month. So I'm gonna split the difference, sort of, and let it steep for 2 weeks. And then when it's all infused and lovely, I'll come back and add some sugar syrup water. I don't know the recipe for that really, don't know what kind of sugar, but I'll find out when the time comes. So for now, it's gonna do its thing in a cupboard somewhere, and I shall be patient. Okay, I'm back inside. I've got the jigsaw and I'm ready to give it a try. Cutting these slats. I feel like the wall is still a bit squishy, but hopefully it's hard enough so that everything doesn't shake around everywhere. All I can do is try, and if this works, it's gonna save me loads and loads of time. So everybody out there, cross your fingers and toes, and let's give this a try. Amazing, first cut done successfully. Let's get the rest of this off. I'm so happy that this is working. Thanks to the fine folks out there. There's a few of you in the comments that gave me this idea. I knew when I was using the Japanese saw that it wasn't the right tool for the job, and I had a niggling feeling that there was just something I wasn't thinking of, and it was the jigsaw. I never would have thought of this. So thanks again. I got loads of great ideas in the comments, and I actually just love chatting with people too. So if you watch my channel and you haven't said hello in the comments, please do chime in. I always respond, and I really enjoy reading them, especially when I get amazing ideas. So I'm gonna carry on cutting these out of the wall, and when I get my clay tomorrow, I'll be ready to get started up on this again. So this one's wiggling around a little bit. You know what? I'm not getting the clay until tomorrow anyway, and chances are I won't be able to work on it tomorrow, so I'm gonna let this harden up just a little bit more. But I know the jigsaw is gonna work. I'm confident in it, and I'll just have to be patient. And luckily, I'm pretty good at being patient, much to the frustration of many of you out there who struggle with the pace of things at my place sometimes, but it works for me, and everything is gonna get done eventually, in theory. One thing that's been a delayed project is the tool shed. The foundation is behind me over there, and I'm gonna get started on that tomorrow. So the next video will be a continuation of the tool shed foundation, which I'm really excited about. But every once in a while I have to get out onto the land. I enjoy it out there, doing a whole bunch of different types of jobs. And I hope you enjoyed this mishmash video of a lot of random little things. So if you did like it, please do give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video for some tool shed foundation work.